Pisces, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 13th through the 19th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Pisces, this week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look at 4 key areas for you: yourself, your relationships, your work life, and your financial life. And this is usually the most often asked about areas, which is why I've chosen those. But we're going to look at it from that perspective, and then at the end look at an overview and see if there are any other areas that might be involved as well. So starting with yourself this week, looking at your ruler, which is Jupiter, very slow-moving planet, has been very close to the North Node in your 6th house. So things are still very much about you cultivating your daily life, even your work life. All right, there should be plenty of opportunities here on some level to develop yourself. Maybe it's through self-improvement. Maybe it's through your regimens. Maybe it's through your diet. Maybe it's through cultivating your work life, such as through your crafts and these kinds of things. So still an excellent time, just like it is this year, for you to work on and develop these everyday experiences. And you guys are learning so much about yourself. Maybe about that, cultivating the things that your life path, the direction, things that excite you in life, which has been that Jupiter conjoining up to that North Node. But again, it's all about more of the self-improvement and earthy and grounding it sort of energy. Now, in terms of the relationships, this is seen by Mercury for you. Mercury's down here in the 3rd house, so it might be a time of exchanging in relationships, learning through relationships and whatnot. So that's certainly still in effect. And you're going to notice, too, that with all this learning and communication that's been highlighted, that's going to continue this week. So it's still such a great week for you to work on your communication, maybe your intellectual pursuits, reading, writing, learning, all of that. And I think that could be directly supportive to your relationships at the moment. Now, in terms of your work life, this is, again, that 6th house. There's a lot of positive energy and opportunities there with the daily work. In terms of your big picture work, like your career, Pluto is transiting your 10th. So there's been a lot of changes here for many years, and it's about non-attachment to the bigger goals or the bigger career stuff. And maybe through that non-attachment, you're seeing what might need to change here. So always making those changes, especially with Pluto still very close to that trine up to your ruler Jupiter. All right, helping you make changes from the career side, which could again be supporting you on the everyday side. All right, so that's that. One thing I want to mention too is since the sun does rule your 6th house, the sun will be squaring up to Chiron here on Wednesday. So if on that day in particular, you're feeling any wounds or insecurities about the work life, it's about accepting those wounds. It's an internal thing. It's not so much an external thing. In other words, it's not a verification of what's going on in that sector, as much as it's just about you doing that healing work. And through that acceptance of how you feel can be that rejuvenation. All right, so now let's take a look at your financial side. This is seen by Mars, who rules your 2nd house, and he's retrograde. So you guys are thinking and rethinking, I think, the financial stuff. I think it's good for you to do that anyways. But particularly in terms of what really matters to you in life, maybe shared resources, maybe it has to do with codependency, which is another 8th house thing, because you have your 2nd house ruler in the 8th. Some of you could be working with inheritance, whatever it might be involving other people's resources or working with, sharing with others in some sense. All of this, it's good to just be adaptive and flexible and be willing to learn more about this, because Mars is showing you, so to speak, this importance of having a healthy balance with codependency in your life. And you can still have the self-reliance. It's like the balance of both. It's showing how you can have self-reliance and that healthy interdependency as well. And just being flexible in general, rehashing, rethinking your financial side is so important with your 2nd house ruler retrograde. All right, so let's go and have a look at your overview. Let's look at the things we didn't cover yet. It starts on Monday with Venus squaring up to Chiron. Venus ruling your 3rd house. You guys might be feeling a bit wounded. I just say that because Chiron's the wounded healer. So it could be slight, it could be a lot. It just depends on our personal charts. But whatever that bit of insecurity is, maybe with the communication, maybe with your mind, with the intellectual side of things, again, it's internal, just like that other Chiron aspect I was talking about. So doing that healing work, that acceptance, then does lead to that rejuvenation, transformation. Now, one thing I want to mention, your modern day ruler, Neptune, is going retrograde on Monday. All right, so there is this now, as there is half of the year with Neptune, a bit of this reflection. And I think the reflection is about again, what really matters, maybe where you can get some rest, some relaxation in your life, develop yourself spiritually, maybe understand more about yourself psychologically. And that's been this attunement you've had to your deeper self for many years with Neptune in that 12th. So whatever that's been, that's shifting, and it actually could create a bit of clarity, because sometimes when Neptune goes retrograde, it lifts the fog a bit. And it's an inner kind of knowing. So really accessing your inner knowing, whether it's through the meditation or whatnot, can be excellent this week. And it's a good area for you to challenge yourself, because your modern ruler is going to be squaring up to Saturn here Friday and Saturday. So the key with this is that it's good to be patient right now. It's good to see the long term, even though we don't know exactly how things are unfolding. Might be uncertainty about your aspirations. There may even be uncertainty about your deeper psychological self, which is Saturn ruling your 12th, and that's what makes it so good to have that inner awareness, whether it's through meditation or whatnot. So good area for all of us this week to develop ourselves spiritually. And for you Pisces, I think that's especially being emphasized. And having this patient approach to everything, living in the present moment, I think can help really ground and concretize this energy. I think what you're being patient with is about the life path, future things, right? Which is Saturn in that 9th house. All right, so those are the aspects of the week. And then, like I said, there's going to be a full moon very early next week on Monday. So there is a culmination here with your career. In fact, this is going to be next week, involving things you may have been involved with the past 6 months relating to your career. So good things to sit with, think about over the weekend, maybe put energy towards. And then through that, there's more of that awareness. And there's this sort of clarity about where you can change and make some changes with your career to continue to cultivate it going into the rest of the year. All right, so Pisces, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.